Thank you.
Yep.
Brown will be first, followed by Coach Stevens. Players are still to be determined here. Thank you. Good to know. Announced by the league that the game 1 will be Sunday at 3:30 on ABC. Tuesday will be game 2 at 8:30 on ESPN. Saturday will be game 3, 8:30 in Cleveland. Monday for game 4 in Cleveland at 8:30, both on ESPN. I'll repeat, Sunday at 3:30 on ABC. Game 2, Tuesday at 8:30 on ESPN. Saturday, game 3, 8:30 on ESPN. And Monday, game 4, 8:30 on ESPN. Looks like Al, Jayson, and Jaylen for us. Al, Jayson, and Jaylen. Joe and Ben for the Sixers. First to go up is Gary Rozier. Drew Bledsoe. Feel free to ask any questions.
There was no question I was going to get those last 2 free throws. Been working really hard. I think the only thing I have to say is that I've been on the Chuck and Shaq diet for a little bit, so my jersey's a little bit tighter than it was back in the day. But anyway, hey man, this whole thing with Terry's been super fun. So proud of the Celtics and this whole thing that's going on. It's been fun going back and forth with Terry. But it's mostly been fun because the Celtics are playing great basketball, and I've been a fan for a long time. I met Terry for the first time about 3.5 hours ago. We've been in contact, social media, and this whole thing's been a lot of fun. But as I've said numerous times, it's only been fun because he's playing great ball.
So you can still take a hit.
I think if I established anything over the course of my career, I could take a hit. But tonight, man, kind of got the blood flowing again. Kind of got me fired up. I want to go. Give me a football, man. Put me in for a quarter. I may not give you a whole game, but I can give you a quarter. Coming back here to New England is it's always special, and the older fans, if you will, that realize that football existed out here before 2001, really appreciate what we did and the teams that I was a part of. So it's fun to come back and then to watch what the Celtics have done and just be fanboy is really cool. Always had a lot of fun with it. All right, and with that, I'm going to step off and let the athletes come to the stage. I'm just the wine guy now. So, but hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for being so welcoming when I come back to Boston. Appreciate it. To my good friend Whit Grossbeck, thanks for the great seats tonight. Thanks for including me in this whole thing, and congrats on what you built with this great franchise.
No truth, there's a scary Terry Chardonnay coming in the future. No. Oh no! I'm just kidding. Oh no.
The scary Terry, actually, so the Terry Rosé may be the thing. So, watch out. I'm gonna have to talk to him. We'll bring him out to Washington. We're gonna develop a profile, and we'll come up with a Terry Rosé. It's gonna have a great finish. How about that? There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
Brett, to your left. What did you tell the fellas after the game, and how do you feel yourself right now?
When the playoffs started, the thing that I remember most is you will learn more about yourself in the next few weeks, hopefully a month and longer, than I think you're going to reflect back that you've ever learned in your career about you the person, your skill level, the team. It is expedited learning in a high, pressure environment. And it'll serve you well for the summer. It really will serve you well in regards to directing what you remember most and knowing what you need to do to move your game forward. That. We talked about, if we all sat in that room when we met on September, whatever it was, and said, we're going to finish third in the Eastern Conference, we're going to lose in the semifinals of the Eastern Conference, there's a strong chance we all would have been hugging each other. The initial goal was to make the playoffs. And the final piece is, if we're going to do anything of any significance, we're always going to have to go through the Boston Celtics. And I respect very much this organization. I think Danny and Brad are fantastic. You're always looking over your shoulder and watching how they've decided to grow their program. And this was a hard-fought series. It ends up the way it always ends up. There are possessions that you wish you had back, and that's life. And the game changes and life changes with those type of fragile subtleties. That was my message, Marcus. I always feel incredibly empty. You wake up in the middle of the night tonight and you're like, no. You'll do the same tomorrow. It doesn't go away easy. You learn at the stage that I am at with age and experience that I hate losing more than I love winning. That is a fact. And it inspires me to really, study what just happened. It's a tremendous learning experience for our team. You're reminded again what playoff basketball is. And I look forward to taking a deep breath, speaking to my guys, laying out their summer plan over the next short period of time, and continuing to try to grow our program.
Coach Bob Schron, the Citizen. Early in the second half, they extended the lead to 9 points just before halftime, and through much of the third quarter, they had a large extended lead. What happened to get you guys back?
I had to fly through some timeouts that I didn't like, but I felt like the game was just going to never be clawed back otherwise. And we got it back. I think the end of the second period is true. That was a sting that hurt us. Then, Joel got going. I horsed Joel. I played him all. I believe I played him the whole third period. And, we went at him, and he responded. Then you jump into the fourth period, and there were mood swings, two of them. I think they went on a 10-0 We followed up with a 11-2 run, and you're up 109, I think 107. JJ's got a clean look, and the game played out like that. But I feel that our guys didn't go away. We didn't go away, and for that, it doesn't surprise me that's who they have been. Their spirit has been excellent throughout the year. And the fight that I saw tonight confirms what I'm saying to everybody now. And we lost to a good team.
Brett, you talk about that fight. It seemed that over the course of the playoffs, and especially the last 2 or 3 games here, or in this series, Dario and Joel seemed to be the guys that wanted to sort of yoke up and carry things, number one. Number two, can you explain what happened to Robert Covington over the last, 10 days, 2 weeks?
What people probably look at, and probably your question is related to offense, and I understand. And I think and I'll answer both sides of the ball, because he was very good defensively. He was very good defensively. You know, you look at a coach's opinion, you look at metrics, he was very good defensively. And there still is a pride and a toughness in Robert that you feel confident when he's on the floor that our defense is going to be pretty good. I think Boston was excellent at trying, as I've said, from the first game onwards. They crawled into his stomach. They made him dribble, and they bent him. Like really tried to bend him on his passes. And in general, schematically, you would have seen both teams tonight. That's a low number, really, based on what we want to do. If you look at the Celtics with 20 only three-point attempts, that's what they had in one of the halves in one of our games, and we only shot 21. That fan-out mentality and not leaving shooters, and then once they get it, they crawled into him. I give them credit, and they did it with length, and they did it with athletes, and that'll be something that Robert will grow from. Being able to put it on the floor to punish that type of heat that is put on him on his catch shot type environment. What's that? I mean, I thought both Dario and Joel were bookends. We did a pretty good job of horsing that, trying to milk that and beat the ball inside. There was a toughness to both of them for the large part of the game. They really did carry us 27 and 27, and really at high percentage results when you look at what they did, both kind of from the line and from the floor. They were tremendous together. Really effective pairing.
On a question for Coach Brown?
Coach, the sting of tonight's loss notwithstanding, are you able to reflect now on the full breadth of the season, what you guys accomplished or didn't accomplish?
No. It'll come. It'll come, and I think you go back to Philadelphia, you do your exit interviews, you do your follow-up with the media. Like down deep, I get what we did. We won 17 games in a row to end the season. We had a goal to get in the playoffs. We did do that. Then our goal changed from home court. Then it went to third. Then we won 52 games. And then we beat Miami Heat 4-1. And then we entered the Boston series, and this is, like everything, it's your last memory, so it's what you respond to the most when you ask that question. It'll happen. I get really what we've done, but there is a very much a disappointment and an emptiness that you feel when somebody stops something that you really like doing, and they stop something with guys you like doing it with. And for that, I say no. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach Bob Schramm, the Citizen, one of your key words for your teams are resilience and grit. Fourth quarter, I mean, was that part of the...
Yeah, I mean, it showed itself over and over tonight. I thought they were great all night. I thought we ended the first half on a real flurry. But anytime we got any semblance of lead or cushion, they crushed it right away. I mean, to go from down 6 to up 4 the way they did in the last 4 minutes, it's hard to do when this place is rocking like that, and they have a heck of a team and really poised and hard to beat.
Brad, here on your left, Sarah Todd, the Philadelphia Inquirer, Philly.com. Redick and Ilyasova missed a lot of shots, a lot of wide open looks late in the game. Are you coming away thinking, like, we're lucky that they just didn't knock those down in those moments?
Well, I think Ilyasova hit the one in the fourth. Redick's last shot was incredible that he made. He missed at least one open one that I remember vividly where we just lost him at the start of the second half and one in the fourth. You know, our goal on Redick is you're not going to play perfect, but you just got to be there as much as humanly possible and hope there's a cumulative effect, but it's not usually the case, you know. I thought we missed some shots too. That happens. But, you know, they're special because they just keep coming. You know, the Covington threes were huge. The Ilyasova's the one that he made. The Saric three in transition, like Embiid was a joke how good he was tonight. Guarding him in the post was really tough. So I got a lot of guys that can do a lot of stuff.
Coach Owen Pence, Boston Globe. Can you just explain the decision to double Joel in the post there and what went into that?
He had to look like he was going to get where he wanted to go. And we had two bigs with 4 fouls. So I felt like we were I felt like if we were going to play Al the whole fourth quarter with 4 fouls, then he was going to have to be, we're going to have to double the post, because if you just let him bang, 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 it puts you in a precarious position where you're either going to foul or give up a layup.
Brad Robb, Boston Sports Journal. Brad, Marcus Smart just seemed like in the last few minutes of that game, he was everywhere on both ends of the floor. Can you just touch on just the impact he had?
Yeah, and again at the start, like when things weren't going as smooth, I thought he settled us down with his post-ups and with his play around the rim, and he made some great passes. You know, he's made for this. Like, he's made for these moments, and that's the thing that we just keep talking about. Like, you know, we can go through a stat line all you want, but you know, when your seasons are on the line and when you're in the playoffs and when you've got to do really hard things, he can do really hard things.
Brad, Paul Flannery. Brett was in here saying that, you know, they know that in the future, if they're going to do anything, they're going to have to go through you guys. And given the way both these teams are set up, does this feel like the start of, you know, the next 4 or 5 years of, I know you just got through this series, but does this feel like the start of something big between these two teams?
You know, I think that we've, you know, as Philly has grown over the last couple of years, you know, because we play them in the preseason often, and because we play them 4 times every year because they're in our division, I think we've had our eye on Philly a long time before that. You know, and I thought Brett and his system have put us in a bind on both ends of the floors. You know, 5 years ago when I first entered the league, and so spent a lot of time trying to figure out how we could play a little bit better. You know, you think about how much we turned it over in the regular season against them, how much issues we've had guarding some of their actions. You know, he's a heck of a coach. They have a heck of a situation, and they have a lot of young talent. They're going to be good for a long time, and I don't take these opportunities for granted, and I know they're not given. So, you know, I hope that we're all back here talking about it a year from now.
Coach Taylor Snow, Celtics.com. What went into the decision to put Jaylen back in the starting lineup, and how do you feel that impacted the team?
With Shane out, we didn't have a backup point. If Smart or Terry would have gotten fouls early, we would have been forced to play them extended minutes without a break. And, you know, I felt Smart was playing so well in the first half. I felt like we were trying to get through the first 5 minutes of the second to put him back in. But he was, you know, the nice part about Smart, Jaylen, like Jaylen comes back from his deal. He started all year. He's like, I think bringing off bench is a great idea. I tell Smart this, you know, that we're going to start Jaylen. He's good. You know, we've kind of got a team like that. I think that starts with when you can do that with Baines all year. You know, when older guys accept that really helps.
Brad, Jacob Toby, CLNS Media.
Hi, Jake.
Can you put into perspective, since you've got to the Celtics, what the whole experience has been like? You're now going to your second straight Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, what has the ride been like, and what kind of did you and Danny envision this team being, you know, 3-4 years down the road?
You know, I could never have. You know, when you get here, you're flattered by the thought of the Boston Celtics, and all you're thinking about is the tradition and history. You realize that if you're going to break records here, you're probably going to break bad ones because none of the good ones are reachable. And so, like, ultimately, you know you're going to get a chance to play in a great city in front of great fans. And the responsibility that comes with that, our guys feel. And I think that makes you, no matter what people have predicted you will be, play at a togetherness and a toughness level that is okay in this town. And I think that's really important. Our guys really embrace that. The thing that I would say is that I always hoped we would get to the point where if things don't go our way, we're still extremely competitive because we have a kind of a foundation in place. And again, that's not a given, but things haven't always gone our way, but these guys are really talented. They're really tough. They fit Boston, and hopefully we'll keep playing well.
Final two questions, please.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. I know Joel Embiid had some big moments throughout the series, but in general, you were able to single cover him and stay home on the three-point line. And Philly never had a game where they really beat up from deep. Do you feel like at the end of the day that game plan really worked?
Guarding the three was our thing from the get-go. That's why it's scary to double. We gave up the 1-3 doubling in the fourth quarter, but Embiid forces you to do that sometimes. But we felt like their offense was such a juggernaut coming into this series, and they got so much out of their pace movement and then overreacting the guys, and we just tried to stay at home the best we could. They progressively got better on offense. Our defense progressively got worse as the series went on, and that's probably what forced some double teams tonight.
Coach Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. After going through a 7-game series and then a tough series now, being shorthanded, Shane Larkin goes down, Jaylen Brown recovering, how do you anticipate using the next 3 days to try to get these guys ready for the next series? How will it help them get prepared for the next series?
3 days is plenty of time to prepare. It's not like they've never watched Cleveland before. We played them in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. LeBron's on just a ridiculous run of play. And we know that it'll be quite a challenge. But the most important thing that our team can do tomorrow is go outside and get away from it for a day and take a day off and take a deep breath. We're asking a lot of the 7 guys that played a ton tonight. They're going to keep playing a ton. So, and then we'll reconvene on Friday, Saturday, and really go to work on how we want to play on Sunday. Thank you.
Ben does have to catch a flight fairly quickly, so if you could be quick with our questions, please, for Ben. Very nice to join us. Thank you.
G'day, Ben. It's Duncan McKenzie-McCark here from Fox Sports Australia. I know you must be hurting right now, but on a personal level, you've had a hell of a year. Are you proud of what you've been able to achieve in your first season in the NBA?
I think if I look at it, I've been healthy all year. I've been blessed enough to play a full year, so in that way I look at it, it's been a blessing to be able to have played in the NBA and had a full year where I haven't been hurt and had a healthy year. Yes, but the feeling right now is not, I didn't want to be done. I feel like I had a lot more to go, but you got to look at the positives and the negatives and, keep moving forward.
And just to follow up to that, are you aware of the interest that you've generated in Australian basketball over the last 12 months?
I've heard a little bit, but I think that's amazing that, a lot of kids back home can look at me as a role model and, fall in love with the game that, I'm in love with.
Ben, Ian Begley, ESPN.com. Given the circumstances coming into this series, you guys took care of Miami in 5 games first round. They're down a couple of their bigger names coming in. How disappointing is it that this thing played out the way it did, ending in 5 games?
Yeah, I think we just we're in a hole too deep that we put ourselves in. And, coming into this building, the arena, the fans are amazing. Here they're loud, they talk a lot of shit to you. So on that basis, it's hard to play here. But at the same time, I'm telling my teammates, give everything you have. That's all I can really ask for. So I think I got that from everybody, and you just got to move forward. We got to get better and look ahead now.
Bob Sean, the Citizen. Ben, I don't like to ask this type of question, but it's complicated playoffs for you. And like tonight, you played great. Did you do some things to regroup in terms of maybe there were some kinds of situations where you may not have felt as confident as you were all season long?
I'm just learning. This is just the start for me. I have a long way to go. So, second series, and I'm learning. There's a lot of things I learned this series that I didn't against Miami, and that makes me a better player. So, I'm grateful for those opportunities. Thank you.
Jaylen Brown will just be solo for us. I think Joe's coming as well, Embiid. And Al.
Guys, Scott Souza from Metro West Daily News. Such a back and forth game tonight. You had the lead. They came back on you. How were you guys able to muster what you guys did in the final 90 seconds to come back and take the lead once and for all?
Man, we've been doing it all year. Tip my hat off to Philly, Brett Brown. They came out. They were resilient and tough, and we just stayed the course and we got the win. But we lean on our vets. We lean on Al during those tough stretches, and it came up big for us.
Hey, Jaylen, middle on your left, Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. You're probably the best person to speak about this after coming back from an injury, but how important was it for you guys to close this out tonight and get the next 3 days to get some time and prep for Cleveland?
Man, yeah, I was saying it from the jump. This is Game 7, and I think we should and we treated it as such. We didn't want to go back to Philly. We didn't want to keep building their momentum, and it was good to get a closeout game here on our home floor.
All right, Jaylen and Al, for both of you, Mike Petralia, CLNS Media. Do you guys feel like there's no hill you can't climb? Cleveland's coming up, and a lot of people are going to say LeBron's on a mission, but you guys both sense that if you guys play together, there's no challenge you can't overcome?
I'm just happy we won tonight. There's, it was a taxing game for us. We left it all out there. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I can't think about anything else right now. I'm very proud of our group. Our guys really fought. This guy here was great tonight. His focus, shooting the ball, defensively. We ask a lot out of him, out of Tatum, all our guys, and it was a total team effort. I'm just proud of our group.
Yeah, I second everything he just said.
Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. For both of you guys, Marcus misses the free throw, then gets back and makes the steal to end the game. Can both of you just describe the effect he has on a night like this?
Man, that's a Marcus Smart sequence. You know what I mean? That just describes him so well. Tries to miss the free throw, makes it, and the first guy back and gets the steal, put his body on the line. He didn't care if he ran into somebody or if he hurt himself. He was coming up with that ball. And I've said it before, Brad said it. If it came down to anybody coming up with it, everybody got their money on Smart.
That's it right there. Smart's one of those guys that, things can be going a certain way, but you need a play to happen. You need a loose ball. You need anything, and he's going to come through. That putback he had there towards the end when Tatum missed was huge. And then he seemed to be there in those big moments. That's what he does. So it was good to see that.
Al and Jaylen, Duncan McKenzie-McCarthy here, Fox Sports Australia. Can you just talk to us about how enormous Aaron Baines was throughout this series, especially trying to guard Joel Embiid and doing a fairly good job at it?
Amazing. Aaron, the way he prepares, the challenge that he has taken, because he's really had to change his game all year. He's extended his range. He's shooting threes now. He's taking the challenge defensively, being our rim protector every night. And I'm just so happy for him to see him have success at this level. And tonight he was great for us.
Jacob Toby, CLNS Media. Jaylen, what's it been like for you to learn from Al the last 2 years in the postseason? And then, Al, what's it been like for you to kind of mentor Jaylen and see him grow this year, especially in the playoffs?
It's been a true pleasure, on a daily basis. Everybody knows it. Al does everything the right way. At times where even if it doesn't go his way, he always carries himself with a great demeanor, and just being on the outside looking in and watching that, you learn a lot, not even about basketball, about life. Al on the basketball floor does tremendous things for us, opens everybody up, and he puts his hard hat on every day, you know what I mean? So it's been a true pleasure, for the last 2 seasons I've been with Al, and back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. It's been fantastic, and I learned a lot, and will continue to learn a lot on and off the floor, so let's just keep winning.
Yeah, Jaylen is one of those guys that, last year, I probably felt like he probably should have played more, but we just had a lot of guys, and just his poise and his maturity to, embrace certain roles that were given to him last year. I felt like he learned a lot, he grew, and then this year just seeing him not shy away from the moment, and being one of those guys that truly, I feel like it's a two-way player. So, he defends, but he also on offense is efficient. He just keeps improving. Whether it's his shooting, whether it's his passing, his feel for the game. And I just been very impressed with his progress. I just feel like he just keeps getting better. He keeps getting better slowly and slowly. He just keeps it going, and that's great to see. That's what you want to see on a young player. A lot of young players think they have it all figured out. They want to do things a certain way, and Jaylen just has that growth mindset. You just see it in him, and he just keeps getting better. So it's no surprise why we're in this position, because if him and even a guy like Tatum weren't growing as players, we couldn't have been in this point. So it's a lot of credit to both of them.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. Al, you and Aaron spent a lot of the series covering Joel Embiid. And what does it take to just emotionally, physically handle that type of matchup throughout the series while still thriving on both ends? And how important was it to be able to cover him with one guy so the team could stay home on shooters? You have to be able to take the challenge. Baines, I just think, just did an unbelievable job, making him work for everything, really making it tough on him. And it takes a lot of pressure off our team because, we didn't have to help. We didn't have to double. The times that I got on him, I try to do the same. And the focus was always, we would handle him one-on-one. And I felt like our bigs, we just did that time and time again, and we were effective enough to get the job done.
Al, John Schumann, NBA.com. You just said it's no surprise that you're not here just because of the way those guys have developed. Is there a surprise in how you got here? Is just the way that you guys are playing, knowing, going into the postseason without Kyrie and knowing, not knowing how that's going to end up. Is there anything that has surprised you in the way that you got here?
Not really. I think, in all honesty, people from the outside probably expected, not much out of us. But I've seen the way that these guys prepare. I've seen the way that they train, and they want to be great, and they understand that it's bigger than them. It's about the team. We're playing for each other, and we're trying to do things the right way. And the way that the way they've been preparing every day, And the way that we've been so resilient all season, like Jaylen alluded to earlier, it doesn't surprise me that we're at this point. We have a great opportunity in front of us, and like I said, we'll deal with that, tomorrow or down the road. I mean, tonight we're enjoying this one. It's a big series for us.
Joel, Bob Schron, the Citizen. I know how proud you are of your team. How hard is this to accept?
It's hard because I feel like we had a pretty good chance of beating them, but they just got to give them a lot of respect. They play well. They play well together. They made some tough shots during the whole series, and they defended us pretty well too. So, got to give him a lot of credit. But he sucks. But you just gotta learn from it and come back next year and do better.
Jessica Camerato, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Joel, a bunch of your teammates said they felt like you guys had more to show in this season. Do you agree with them? And if so, what did you feel like you had left to show?
I feel like we have more. We got a lot of talented guys. We didn't play our best. Some games, some guys were playing well, some games don't. But we feel like when everybody is on, we unbeatable. We committed a lot of mistakes. We got to learn from it, but we definitely have more to show.
Joel, Ian Begley, ESPN.com. On that last possession for you against Baines, when you had it in the post, what did you see on that play? How did it unfold from your perspective? And it looked like you tossed your mask away on that possession as well.
I did. I felt like it was, the way I thought about it, it was like, this could be the last possession of the season, so I need to be at my best, and felt like, although it wasn't, it was against the doctors and all those guys, I kind of tossed to the side, but the play unfolded, and the refs, they had a great game. I thought they were great tonight, but I felt like there was something on that last play, but you can't really do anything about it. But they did a great job the whole night.
Joel, Owen Pence, Boston Globe. The fans seem to be chanting your name after that tech, and you seem to be egging them on. How much fun do you have kind of engaging with fans in these hostile environments?
I love it. I've said this before. I thrive in that type of situation, just being on the road. And I think the whole season, my numbers are actually better on the road than at home because I just get riled up, and when they act like that and they say that I suck, I just want to show them that I don't, that I'm much better than you guys think, and I know they know that too. But it's just fun to me, and in that third quarter, that's when they were doing it, and I felt like I needed to take over, and it wasn't enough. I love being in that type of environment, and it's just fun.
Joel, on your left. Brett Brown said that he told you guys before the playoffs and tonight that you would learn as much or more about yourselves and your game in this condensed time than you'd learned to this point. Do you think that that's true, and what did you learn about yourself and your team?
I learned a lot, going into series, Miami guarded us differently. And then you go into Boston, they're way better defensively, and they guarded us a certain way. So, it takes time to kind of figure it out, and literally every game is different. They throw different matchup, double teams, let you play. by yourself or kind of a lot of digging. So that's why it gets complicated. Just figuring out like what they're doing, and Boston got a great coach, and he makes a lot of adjustments in games. So it's kind of hard to like maneuver, but I felt like tonight, after watching a lot of tapes, I felt like I had them figured out. But that's how you figure it out on your own. And Coach said that, and I agree with him. I learned a lot about myself, and definitely I'm gonna be better.
Joel, Jeff Skaversky from 6ABC in Philadelphia. You guys obviously took a giant step forward this season. As much as this stinks tonight and this series was tough for you guys, looking forward in the big picture, this experience, how much is it going to help you take another giant step forward next year and beyond?
I feel like this season was kind of like a success. Our goal was to make the playoffs, and then we changed it, and then we wanted to get the third seed, and then it was the 50 wins, and then going into the playoffs, we felt like we had a really good chance, especially after winning 16 in a row. We felt like we had a good chance to get to at least the conference finals, and that was our goal. We didn't make it, but the whole season we changed the goals that we set at the beginning of the season. A lot of credit goes to the coaching staff. They all did a great job. My teammates, they were amazing. We have a great group of guys. I hope they're all back next year because we understand each other. We play well with each other. Me and Ben, we have a lot of room to grow. And I was thinking about it, just looking at KD and Westbrook, what they did the first season together. I think they only won like 28 games or something like that. And looking at what we did, we got a bright future. Like at the end of the game, he came up to me, was like, "There's gonna be," show me his hands, and he was like, "There's gonna be a lot of rings on this." And then I was like, "For sure." So we got a bright future, and we gonna be fine. But I'm excited to learn from this stuff because I felt like we had a pretty good chance. But you just gotta learn from it, and gonna be fine.
Hey, Joel, Bill Burke from CNHI Sports Boston. About 6-7 months ago, from the Boston perspective, they expected to be here, maybe even go to the championship. Then they had their injuries, and they've dealt with a lot. And then by the end of the year, teams were apparently trying to lose to play them. Now that you've played them, you went through a rough series here, back and forth. Tell me what your thoughts on Boston, maybe what people are missing about the Boston Celtics.
They're tough. Like I said, got to give them a lot of credit. They made us work for everything. It was coming here from Miami was completely different. I thought Miami was more physical, but the talent wasn't there like Boston has. They got a lot of great young talent, and you got Horford. They did an amazing job this series. Got to give them a lot of credit, and then guys like Marcus Morris that were all excellent. And just like for us, it starts on defense. For them too, they did a great job guarding us, taking us out of our comfort zone. They're really, a lot of people might underestimate them, but they're really good. You can't be going into a series thinking that it's going to be easy just because they're missing their two best players. Terry Rozier was amazing this series. All those guys, they did a great job. And Marcus Smart, coming back from his injury, did an amazing job guarding guys and, making shots. So they're a really good team. And for the next decade, we're going to have a lot of fun battles.
Joel, this organization took a lot of heat for the way this team was built, its willingness to lose for several years. You always embraced the notion of the process. From the perspective now that you're succeeding in the postseason, what about it appealed to you? Why was it such a big part of your identity?
What, the process?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we were trying to lose on purpose. Well, as far as the players, no players in the league go out there every night and want to lose on purpose. It was just unfortunate that it happened that way. But feel like everything happens for a reason. Sam Mickey did an amazing job, and I mean, looking at everything we got, he's a big part of it. Got to give him a lot of credit. Coach, he stayed with him, his system, within what he believed was going to happen. And I mean, look at what he did this year. I mean, he went from 28 to 52 wins, and he just the process. I've said this before. The process is never going to end. It's a process to get to the playoffs. We did it. It's another one to get to the. I wouldn't say the semifinals, but the conference finals. We didn't do it. So next year, that's definitely our goal. And then it's another one to get to the finals and win it. And then when you actually win it, you start the following year. You do it all over again. So the process is never going to end. But looking at where we are, it paid off. We have a bright future, great coaching staff, and hopefully, I hope that everybody's going to be here for a long time. Thank you.
Rob, did Ben already go? Did Ben already go? Yeah.
Jayson Tatum's coming up next. If anybody needs Jayson. Jayson Tatum's coming up.
Joseph Pavone, WEI.com, CLNS Media. Jayson Tatum, from first-round rookie to the Eastern Conference Finals. What has the journey been like?
I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We've had some ups and downs. We had some incredible games, some incredible comebacks. I'm just happy that, we see the fight another day.
Amanda Pflugrad, Celtics.com. What did you learn not only about yourself but also this team through this process?
That we just have a never say die mentality. No matter how much we're down, what the circumstances are, who we're playing, who's out, we always believe in ourselves. And I think that says a lot for our team, and we go out there and give it our all every night.
Bob Schron, the Citizen. Jayson, the game swung back and forth. You had the big lead, and then you were behind. And what do you remember about the final couple of minutes that allowed you guys to come back and win it?
I mean, it was just a collective effort down the stretch. I think we were down 4 with like 90 seconds left, and we're never worried or think the game's over to 0 seconds on the clock. Because we've been through so much. So, we just try to stay poised, keep our composure, and try to make the right plays on both ends. And, that's what we did today.
Jayson, Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com on your right. When that final buzzer sounded and after Marcus picked off that ball, what was the feeling that you had after that final horn?
It was incredible. So many people, after Gordon got hurt and Kyrie and, when Smart went down and Tice, nobody expected us to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. So it just, continue to prove people wrong and, have fun while we're doing it.
Little opportunity to breathe here after getting through that series?
Yeah, take tomorrow
off. How important will that be for you guys?
It'll be big. This was a tough series. It was a tough game tonight. We deserve the day off tomorrow.
Jayson, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media. What does it mean to you when veterans are looking to you in the big moment of a game, like the go-ahead basket tonight?
It's a great feeling. You work all season to earn the trust of your teammates and the coaching staff, and for moments like this, and you just got to go out there and make the right play, whether it's finding Al on the lob or scoring a layup. Just trying to make the right play.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. First, how's the thumb or hand doing?
It's good. It just got jammed. Somebody smacked it.
Okay. And you started your NBA debut was against Cleveland and LeBron. Now you're going up against them in the conference finals. How do you think you've grown to prepare for this moment over the course of the year?
It's like night and day. The first time we played them, I was so nervous, but it's been 90 games since then, and we've been through a lot more, relaxed, calm, but ready to go out there and play.
Yeah, Jason, Abby Chin, NBC Sports, Boston. Along those lines, could you have imagined when the Celtics drafted you that late in a Game 5 of a closeout situation, you guys are down 2 and Brad Stevens draws up a play for you? Marcus ended up putting it back in, but, could you have imagined this?
No, I couldn't at all. I didn't know what to expect coming into the season. Our team looked a lot different then than it does today. So I would never have imagined, that would happen.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
But he told me he would call you. Okay.